population psychopaths is sadistic. What's wrong with that analysis? They begin and end with a dispositional. They eliminated, they ignored all the other things, the role-playing, the lab coat, the power of the authority, et cetera, et cetera. Wrong. But that's a base rate of alleged experts. Could be 5%. Some people say, maybe a third. Other people say, I think it could be half. And we know the answer is 2 out of every 3 people. Nobody wanted to hear that shit. 2 out of every 3 people. And so the take-home message today is all evil begins with 15 volts. All evil begins with 15 volts. When you press the first button, you're on that slope. You know that the end is you're going to electrocute somebody. All evil begins with 15 volts, meaning on Friday at Enron, the books are not balancing, and you go to the accountant from Arthur Andersen, a reputable company, and say, could you just change a few numbers? We'll figure it out on Monday. Once you change those numbers on Friday, then on Monday they come in, hey, it's gotten worse. You have to change bigger. So nobody cooks the books. People warm the books. Okay? Warming the books is at 15 volts. And once you start, you're on that slippery slope. So here are 16 of the 19 studies. I couldn't fit them all into my graph. And each one is an experimental variation. He's manipulating one independent variable. So let's look at study 16. You come in, and the experiment says, we're running a little late, please sit down and watch. And what you see is 2 Confederates go all the way to the end. Under that condition, 90% of the people go all the way. Not 65, 9 of 10. Well, let's reverse it. You come in, the experiment says, we're running a little late, you sit and watch, and you see people rebel. 90% rebelled. What does that mean? That is the most important finding for me in all the Milgram studies. It says we are each powerful agents of social influence. By what we do that other people can see, we shape their behavior toward evil or toward good. That's our ripple effect. We're going to be visiting that again. So you can have a ripple effect without even knowing you're doing it, because we're all under observation of other people. So when you do a deed of kindness, it ripples in ways that you may never realize. When you are indifferent, when you're apathetic, when you're a passive bystander, when you do some cruel thing, say a sexist joke, a racist joke, whatever, you start a negative ripple effect. Oh wait, I'm sorry, let me go back quickly. Women. So if we look at study 13, that's where they have women Confederates, same thing, 65%. So now a classic example of situational evil that I created in my little lab at Stanford. And so Stanford Prison Experiment, you all know it, I'll go through very quickly. But it is the 40th anniversary of it. So we had this ad, we had a little, Milgram had a great big ad, we couldn't afford it, had a little shitty ad. We said we want students, not an adult, we want male students. And we did this in the summer of 1971. We did it in the summer after students had finished summer school at Berkeley and Stanford. Most of the students, only a few students, 2 students were from Stanford. These are kids from all over the country. 75 people answered our ad. It was in the city paper. We gave them a battery of personality tests, clinical interviews. We picked 2 dozen normal, healthy, physically healthy, psychologically healthy, never in therapy, taking no drugs stronger than marijuana, which in those days everybody took. It's 1971. What does that mean? These are all hippies. Everybody's got hair down here, including me. And everybody's anti-war activists. Everybody's a civil rights activist. Even then, kids are starting to be, boys are starting to think about women's rights. And so nobody wanted to be a guard. Of course, everybody, guards were pigs in those days. Then what do? We flip a coin. Randomly, one is going to be a guard, one is going to be a prisoner. So it means on day 1, we put good people in a bad barrel. The bad barrel was an environment I created, which is very much like what I knew about American prisons. We made it very realistic. We had this city police do a very serious arrest of the kids who are going to be prisoners in their dorm, in their homes, because we wanted the authorities to take away their freedom. If they came down and said, I'm here for the experiment, they give up their freedom voluntarily, meaning they own it. They could take it back when things got bad. When the authorities took away their freedom, how do you get it back? You've got to be paroled. In fact, we have a parole board headed by an ex-convict. We have visiting days. We have public defenders. We have prison chapters. So everything about the study was really like a Greek drama. It was really not a psychology experiment. And the prisoners lived there 24/7. Guards worked 8-hour shifts. And we lived in this cocoon. It was a corridor in the basement of the Stanford Psychology Department. We took the doors off. We put bars up. Solitary confinement. The key is we're going to de-individuate the prisoners, put them in these uniforms with numbers. They became numbers. the guards had